When you're passionate as I am about my job, getting up in the morning isn't hard. 4:30 my alarm goes and I'm out of bed straight away. Downstairs, meditating, reading, some ability, get my gratitude journal out, and I write in the gratitude journal exactly what I'm grateful for: family, my kids, the life I live. It's only been this last few years that I've actually built the confidence of myself to start believing in myself. For years and years, I had such a low opinion of myself, and it all stems back to being bullied from being 6 years old, right up. I allowed myself to be bullied for years. I'm talking about probably in the mid-20s. I remember being miserable my whole life, basically. Suicide was a constant thought. Attempted it a few times, luckily didn't succeed. But the one thing that saved me without doubt, and the one thing that has made me the person I am today, is martial arts. I've tried them all: kung fu, karate, judo, you name it, I've done it all. But the ones that really stuck by me were Muay Thai with Frankie McConville. That started me off on the journey. And then I went to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, where I met my coach and very good friend Davey Patterson. And then the other one, I went back to traditional martial arts and Russian Systema with a good friend of mine, Martin. And especially the mixed martial arts and the Systema. Davey doesn't even realise this himself, but Davey's the one guy that has basically made me who I am today. There's a saying that goes, sometimes you need someone to believe in you until you can believe in yourself. And Davey Patterson was that person for me. He was the one that pushed me into doing things like taking fights and pushing myself on and challenging myself. I never believed I could do these things, but Davey did believe I could do it, and he was right, I could do it. And to be honest, I was one of the few that could, because back in the day when MMA started out in this country, there wasn't anyone doing it. It was called cage fighting and no one knew anything about it. And I was a broken individual at this stage. But Davey pushed me through it. And then there's Martin, my Systema coach. Martin is very like me. He comes from a very strong martial art background, experienced a lot of martial arts. But just like me, he felt something was missing. And when he discovered Systema, he felt that it was the missing piece. Unlike MMA, which is like a sport to test whatever it is, Systema is more a lifestyle, and it tests you more mentally and physically. It's got everything in it. It's got the hard and soft. You've got the striking, then you understand the biomechanics of the body. It's got the soft massage when you've done a lot of hitting. It's important to massage the body to take the negative energy out, and it evolves around the breath. Everything in Systema revolves around the breath. It's the first thing you do in life. It's the last thing you do before you leave. You know, and I love the principle of Systema, and I love the fact that there's no techniques. It's all principles. And martial art life has given me the strength to remain true to who I am and not to be worried about being different. It's probably the reason why I got bullied so much, was because I was so different, and that I never really conformed to what my peers would have thought would have been fashionable or cool. I was always me. But looking back on it now, had I not been like that, I wouldn't be where I am today. When I got involved in MMA, it was known as cage fighting. One of my friends, Thomas Duffin, when he was fighting you without the headbutt, I got involved when it was like infancy in this country. It was barbaric. Apparently people wanted to ban it, and I was part of it, and people thought I was crazy to do it. But had I not done that, had I not stuck to what I wanted to be and wanted to do, I wouldn't have been able to open Ireland's first full-time MMA gym. And that's something, and I wouldn't have been involved in the coaching team of Ireland's first UFC fighter. I wouldn't have opened Evolve, and had I not opened Evolve, I wouldn't have found my interest in strength training, and then I wouldn't have been part of IronFit, which lead to I wouldn't be part of Primal, and I wouldn't have what I've got now. So it's crazy to think that all that bullying has led me to this point here, and had I not been bullied, I wouldn't be who I am today. I'd be something completely different. I probably wouldn't have the confidence that I have today, because that bullying made me stronger, and it made me get an interest in martial arts, and through that I was able to then help other people. I know personally that I've saved four guys' lives who've told me that had not been for me opening that gym or that in the Falls Leisure Centre all those years back, 10 years ago now, they'd be dead in jail or on drugs. So my passion and my past has led to me saving other people, which for me it's pretty epic. So in a strange sort of fucked up way, I actually have a lot to thank the bullies for. But now my goals have changed. Not changed, but you know, I've got more responsibilities now. I have 2 children, 2 daughters who I love more than anything on this earth. And they're the reason I get up every single morning, 4:30. And they're the reason I'm in work for 6 a.m. And people laugh at me, but I class myself as saving lives. That's what I'm doing. I am helping people become better versions of themselves and giving people confidence. And I think it's fantastic that I know that my knowledge that I've accumulated over the years can now go and help other people achieve more than they thought possible as well. So on one end, I'm building Primal and I'm trying to make it the best gym possible, and I'm going to. But on the other end, I want to influence my kids, and I want to spend as much time playing with them, building childhoods. I've got small goals. One of my goals is just to simply own a caravan. I want to own a caravan in County Wexford. I went down to a cowbell competition last year and I fell in love with the place, and I just looked at the beach and I thought to myself, that's awesome. This would be an amazing place to bring your children up. My granddad and my nanny brought me to Mullaghmore every single year without fail. I spent the entire summer and every Easter up in Mullaghmore in a dingy caravan with a black and white TV run off the battery of a car, playing Snakes and Ladders, Yahtzee and Mastermind in the rain in Donegal and Sligo. And you know something, it was the greatest memories of my life. Spending all that time on a pier in Mullaghmore, casting into the sea, and I think in maybe 13 years I caught 3 fish. But all I remember is the great memories, and I want that for my children. I want them to be able to run on the beach and play and have fun, and I want to know that when I'm gone, that they too have the memories that I hold dear. Because that's what life's about. Life's about memories. It's not about the materialistic things. As older I get, the more I realise when materialistic things come and go. I've built businesses up, I've lost everything, I've built it back up again. You can always rebuild, but when you're dead and gone, that's it. Life's over. And I'm come to that age now where I'm starting to realise that. So for me, spending time with my family is my number 1 priority. But in order for me to do that, I have to build Primal up to something that's epic, and that I can then afford to step back a bit and focus on my family and building those memories. My other passion has to be the DadBod Bible page. It's just, when I became a dad, I realised the pressures of getting fit and staying fit. You know, it's so hard to juggle family life, work life, and your own fitness. And every guy finds when they become a dad that their health takes a back seat in preference for their job and their family. And I'm in a unique position where I know that that's not necessarily true. That we all got half an hour to do something. It can be anything, and all it takes is like to be consistent with your exercise and be consistent with your movements, and you can build a body that maybe not look like you did in your 20, but can definitely function well and serve you well enough that when you're in your 60s and 70s you still feel and move well. So that's what I want. I really want to help dads and guys my age start taking back their life a bit by just doing 30 minutes every single day, just for no other reason than just to feel like men still, and that's crucial. And every man, like I said before, all men need just a bit of muscle mass, some mobility, and just to know that they've still got it. We're all egotistical, and if we know if we still can turn a few heads when we're 45, 50 years old, walking down the beach, Hey, fucking brilliant, that's all we need.